Good Monday morning. Do you believe it? It's Monday again. And I have energy right now. And I will be exhausted by this afternoon and exhausted the rest of the week. That's generally how it goes. Welcome to the Community Voice, brought to you by Tanner Health System. We're honored to have in studio Michelle Morgan, District 4 Commissioner.
Good morning, Steve.
Okay, pull that mic up. Get a little bit closer. There we go. All right. Well, welcome. This is what, your third or fourth appearance on Community Voice?
I think so.
But who's counting, you know? So anyway, a little intro. We're not going to read it all. We had Mike Dugan in last week, and we'll just give it abbreviated. You've been the Human Resources Manager, and we did the same thing with Mike. We did, these things are just way too long. Human Resource Manager for Morgan Oil Company, family business with how many locations across West Georgia?
Six.
That was quick. For the past 20 years. And you conduct employee educational programs, maintain employee health benefit plan. Oh, we need to talk about that, et cetera, et cetera. You co-own Likely Book Story many years ago, a Likely Story Book Center many years ago. Graduate UWG with a BA and a Master's in Business Administration. Congratulations. Many community organizations: Carroll County Cultural Arts Alliance, Community Foundation West Georgia, Council on Aging, Friends of the Library, Get Healthy, Live Well West Georgia, Go Tanner, Keep Carroll Beautiful, the Spade and Trowel Garden Club. What's a trowel?
It's a tool you use to dig in the garden.
It's a tool you use to dig in the garden. Okay. Very strong supporter of UWG, et cetera, et cetera. And the list is pretty long, so you should be very proud of that. Got 3 kids, right?
Yes, I do.
And a dog named?
Caesar, the unofficial dog of the Greenbelt.
Hey, so shout out to Caesar. We love Caesar. And so with that, one thing that prompted me to try to get you in this morning, you sent out an email, which is unlike any email I've seen before. But it's really kind of fascinating in a way. And then we'll take a break and we'll come back to the normal county business stuff. But you mentioned about how you've been fortunate enough to travel the world in so many different respects. But yet Carroll County, through its park systems, really has a great deal to offer that is somewhat competitive with the different places around the world.
It is, and you asked about my email. After I got elected, I had said to some friends of mine, how do I keep in touch with the public? I can't just keep knocking on doors. People will probably have me arrested. So we came up with periodically doing this newsletter. So it's emails I've collected of friends, family, and anyone who recently has asked to be on it. So I'm quarterly, maybe, I think the first year I did it twice, the next year maybe 4 times, this time maybe only once so far, because I don't want to bombard people daily, weekly, monthly like we do from lots of political candidates. But this particular one, yes, the parks. I have always been an advocate, always been in the parks. I grew up my senior year of high school and in college right next to Stone Mountain Park. So I really, when I say Carroll County parks are like on top with everything else in really even in the international world, because I've been to parks in other countries. What this current commission has done just in the past year with financing and with the parks staff and public works staff and others of the county employees involved, we have done a great job of enhancing, repairing, and bringing our parks up. And I just really want the taxpayer to realize what they have in their backyard and to go out and access it, because sometimes your taxes don't pay for fun things.
Well, let's do that like you did in the email, because this was somewhat of an education for me too. Let's talk about, you say here that within less than 15 minutes from downtown Carrollton, we have 4 county parks. First one, Little Tallapoosa, which is part of the original Hobbs family land, which must have been incredibly enormous.
Yes.
But it's 256 acres with 2.5 miles of paved trails and 7 miles of natural trails. And tell us a little something more about that. And it seems like that has been a big hit. I think
especially in the last few weeks with the splash park that we just recently opened.
Tell us about that.
Okay, that, it's funny. I did. I clocked it from each area just so when I went to write my newsletter, I really could be honest in it. We go to church at the Catholic Church out there, so I pass Little Tallapoosa at least twice a week anyway. So I'll go in there and run. We've just opened up an area with a lake back in there. So when I say unpaved, you can easily just pop in, do paved, unpaved. But the splash park, in the last year and a half, and working with Commissioner Lee, we realized we have camping, we have walking, but while we say children should go out and be in nature, when I grew up is 40-something years later, things change. And so we needed something else to enhance that park. And the splash park was the great enhancement of it. So from what I understand, it's been extremely popular. I've had friends emailing me, texting me with their pictures and just how excited they are to have something in that area of our community.
And a lot of people are taking advantage of the camping.
Yes, I laugh. My neighbors had an RV, and at one point it was at Tanner State Park, and then they moved it to Little Tallapoosa, and we would actually go out on the weekends, like I said, 10, 15 minutes away, and we're camping around the corner.
Okay. Horseback riding also at the Little Tallapoosa. It seems like that is becoming, just by natural organic growth, a real fit for Carroll County.
Yes, we offer the equestrian in Little Tallapoosa, one side of Moore's Bridge, and McIntosh. So I think we have a lot of areas for the equestrian people.
Well, I think I can't remember which county it is on the east side of Atlanta, but also is very strong in terms of horses.
Arabian Mountain, maybe?
I'm not sure, but there's one over there. And I don't know. It just seems like that's just a natural fit for a county that's trying to retain its agricultural roots.
I agree. Rural.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to the Chattahoochee River. There's Moore's Bridge Park, incredible 437 acres, down Highway 16.
Yes, aren't we lucky? I mean, especially from my house, because I live on the east side, and District 4 encompasses half of the east side of Carroll County over there. So yes, you can just zip down. My family, we had been, the children had never really been kayaking, and we took one afternoon, zipped down there, used a local firm that met us, and we just got on the Noonan side, met them, drove us up there, put the canoes in, the kayaks, and 45 minutes later, we were down at Whitesburg, and you can go all the way down to McIntosh. We did not choose to do that, and since then, my two older sons have gone down on their own and done it. So what a great way to see another part of Carroll County, to experience nature that, not having grown up doing that, they've had the opportunity to do it.
So what is it? Strong currents, or what's it like going down?
No, if I don't have good upper body strength, so honestly, you can just paddle or pretend to paddle.
Pretend
the water
to paddle.
is yes, for the pictures you can look like it, but basically you could just sit there and get all the way to the bridge with no effort whatsoever.
How do you pretend to paddle?
Well, okay, since we're on video,
yeah,
like this.
Okay, pretend to paddle, and then but if you go beyond that, you can go all the way down to McIntosh.
Yes.
So basically, simply leave the vehicle down there, you put in up at Moore's Bridge, and you're good to go.
That's right.
How deep is it?
I don't know. In some areas, they tell me it's very, very shallow. I didn't get those exact details. I'm more the visual up above of all the trees, the greenery. Looking down, not my.
As you pretend
don't want to know how deep it can be. I'm the only one that kept my life jacket on, and I do know how to swim.
That's probably a good idea since
Yes.
you're pretending to paddle. Now, Moore's Bridge has the Civil War heritage, where the Confederates were there and the
Yes.
Union soldiers came through. So is that accented? Are there any kind of markers or any kind of historical?
Community Development is working on that now.
Is it really?
Pete DeBeck is doing some GIS mapping, and the Historical Society is helping us. That's a plan in the making.
All right, you mentioned McIntosh. Let's go down to this is crazy. I mean, this is just a remarkable list if you think about it. All right, let's go down to McIntosh Reserve. This is a 527-acre park. Local hikers, back to the horses, equestrian riders. We have all kinds of events can be held down there. They too Don't they have a splash park down there or a water?
Yes, it's a small one, but they
small
have a
one.
splash park.
Okay, tell us a little more about McIntosh. Of course, there's a lot of history there also.
Well, there's pavilions that families can rent for reunions. The Historical Society does hold their monthly meetings in good weather down at the little amphitheater area that's overlooking the river. The day I went down, one of the days I went down there, we did the Chattahoochee River cleanup, and of course I took Caesar. And in the process, I turn around and there is an eagle, and I believe that put that in my newsletter. I couldn't get close enough.
It's a bald eagle.
A bald eagle, yes,
Right.
huge. And I'm just sitting here thinking, where else do you have the opportunity to see a bald eagle? Except lots of times, unless you're Googling or it's in your children's textbooks, where else do you have that opportunity? And they say that they're down there pretty regularly.
I think they're nesting down there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
We think of like Colorado, we think of the mountains. You
Sure.
don't realize right here in West Georgia we have bald eagles.
and of course, that's the site of Chief McIntosh Plantation, and I think his burial ground is there.
Yes,
And
yes.
uh,
And we're very
fascinating
lucky.
story.
Okay, so the university has his stepping stones, and
Right.
we've been working with them.
Are they coming
and
back?
The stone will be coming back to
Good.
the
To
McIntosh
McIntosh.
Park, and there'll be more information about that. We're working with the university now, and then we'll have the whole triangle: his burial ground, a home, and the stepping stone.
Home is fascinating.
Yes, it is.
It really
yes,
is.
it is.
Okay, this is even more content than I realized when I started.
I'm
this.
saving you from getting into the
Yeah.
the county budget.
Who wants to
Let's
talk
keep
about?
talking.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about taxes. We'll just talk about this. John Tanner Park. I almost wanted to say state park. It's a 138 acre park. I guess a lot of us are really familiar with
Yes.
that because there have been so many events there. But tell us about that in the Mount Zion area.
Well, and I see it from a different area. When my kids were little, we used to go out and do the beach and the lake. And so we've had refurbished that. We've refurbished the paddle, well, got new paddle boats. I now see it as a walker and a runner. And there's a paved trail along the lake for those. And then there's also the natural trails. It's just absolutely gorgeous out there. I do have to thank my predecessors that actually, purchased the land back and have taken care of up to a point. And then we just had to take it to the next level. But that's definitely Carroll County history when you start looking at our parks.
Okay, just down the road here, Buffalo Creek Outdoor Education Center,
And we'll definitely thank the master gardeners.
26 acre property, accessible from the Greenbelt and the Ag Center. And okay, tell us a little something about that one too.
Well, I really encourage people to stop in there. You can go off the Greenbelt and up into the trails, or you can park from the Ag Center. And right there past the Ag Center is our brand new Carroll County 911 Center. And then the Master Gardeners have a beautiful garden that they've brought in and nurture natural plants, and also with the West Georgia Native Plant Society. So it is a surprise, hidden little garden. I shouldn't say little, it's huge, right there in the middle of some county business.
And they also have the Bowl Springs Schoolhouse, built in 1892. So
Yes.
it's located there.
And
They have
some
a
local names that we might know. If you go look at the board, you'll go, oh, I
Right.
think I know that name. Or I know some people now that are second, third generation.
and then finally to wrap it up, because we're going to run out of time if we don't, Carroll County Veterans Memorial Park, just across the highway, just across the bypass, 24 walls of honor, containing 1,152 individual plaques. And that's a pretty moving experience to
Oh,
walk
it
through there.
is. And my father-in-law, we do have a plaque there for him. So I've known about the park for quite some time and have spent time in there since the kids were little on the way up. But now, being a county commissioner, have I really been involved in a lot of their events. And I just can't emphasize enough how beautiful a park that is right there at the corner we all drive by. And you just kind of zip in for a few minutes with the waterfalls and the little we It's breathtakingly beautiful.
We tend to forget.
Thank
'cause,
those who have done the service.
we tend to forget, because we're so close to all of this, how precious all this is,
Right,
how
we
valuable
drive
it
right
is.
by it
Yeah.
every day.
All right, our guest this morning was Michelle Morgan, District 4, Carroll County Commissioner. You can call us at 678-601-TALK, 678-601-8255. Or you have a question or comment, we're on Facebook Live, News Talk 1330. So we'll be back with more after this from Tanner Health System.
In sports, when you play to win, you get your game on. Shouldn't the same be true when it comes to your health? At Tanner Health System, we're going to help you get your healthy on. Tanner is leading the way for you to eat better, get fit, manage or prevent diabetes, and live tobacco-free, so you and your family can get your healthy on every day. It all starts at gethealthylivewell.org. Check out upcoming healthy living events and join others in the community taking action to live well every day. GetHealthyLiveWell.org. Tanner Health System's way of helping you get your healthy on.
Need motivation and support to eat healthier, become more physically active, or quit tobacco? Tanner offers free classes to help you get your healthy on. Register today by calling 770-214-CARE. That's 770-214-CARE. Learn more at gethealthylivewell.org.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Community Voice. I'm Steve Graddick, your host. Delighted to have you with us. And we've been taking a tour down the parts of Carroll County this morning without leaving our chairs. You can call us 678-601-TALK or leave a comment or question on Facebook Live News Talk 1330. Well, it seems like we have two long established Carroll County personalities, if you will, are leaving. Trent North, he's a fellow commissioner. Now he's going to be a superintendent of Douglas County Schools. He's been around for quite a while on that commission, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
I don't even
And
know how many years.
been
But
very helpful to me, and I look back mainly, we laugh. Trent and I have in common. We think, sort of when we look back at our history, he worked at McDonald's in high school, and that was sort of my first job too. So somewhere along the way, we learned customer first, and he was my children's principal. So we kind of go back in different areas. We were on the task force for communities in school, worked together to bring it to Carrollton City Schools and the county. So together we've done a lot of things besides this. But yes, he has been quite a backbone for me, quite good to bounce things off, ask questions to see how he thinks it might go down or to give me advice. So I so excited for him and his family, and thank goodness it's only Douglas County because I can drive up there if I need to. I can find him.
okay, you can find him. Okay,
can
have you
find him.
told him that?
Yes, I have told him that. And the new district chairwoman of Douglas County, because we do have business in Douglas County too. We have some convenience stores up there. So we operate in 4 or 5 counties. So I was telling her what a blessing for not only their county school system, but for her in government to have this expertise and wealth of information.
It seems like besides Trent, it seems like as far as I can remember, both Trent and Ortegas have been with the Carroll County government, and that's quite a while.
Oh, yes.
so
I
now-
told them they needed to wait till my term ends in 2018.
Are you
How
driving-
dare they leave me
Yeah.
in an with
You're
a year
not,
left?
you're not driving everybody off, are you?
I hope it's not me, but no, Ortegas and I go back a ways too.
Now,
Because
for people who don't know, Ortegas Newell is zoning administrator, correct?
yes, and Jimmy and I in 1995 or 6 were the cheer people for the University of West Georgia's A-Day fundraiser, and Ortegas several years ago was also the A-Day chair. So we have a lot in common, have worked together with many things at the university, but since I've been commissioner, he has been wonderful in giving me information, answering my questions when it comes to planning and zoning, because I've seen things lots of times as a business person, and I need to understand where the history came from, or why we do things a certain way, or how we get it changed. So yes, I am so there again excited. My son's been at Governor's Honors for the last month, and so we've been in Rome several times. And one of the ways we were going, we went and visited the cemetery in Rome because it's absolutely gorgeous, and right across from it is a senior citizen community. And I sent Ortega's a text and said, "Oh my goodness, they need you."
Yeah, that's my hometown, my adopted hometown, high school and some college there, and he'll like it. I covered Floyd County Commission for a while, and Rome City Commission for a while, and you're referencing Myrtle Hill. It's really a beautiful area.
It is.
So
it
I'm
is.
sure he'll
But
be.
who wants to live in a senior citizen community and look at the cemetery?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
is that your next?
it's such a historic.
I know, but it's a
and,
little bit.
creepy, but it's still, I don't know. It's a remarkable cemetery. Okay, let's hit one question, and we're going to run out of time. Tell us, in the last couple of meetings, been some discussion about the Tice Bridge renovation and replacement, I guess it is. Tell us a little something about that.
Well, it's interesting. I guess maybe a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, Mike Dugan and I were actually in the grocery store, and we were talking about it, and he said, "How do you really know so much about this bridge? Is it in your district?" And I said, "No, it is not, except my children have friends that live on the other side of it." So there's been many times in the last years when I've had to drive them out there, and it is a very awkward, and it doesn't seem very safe. And of course, you know, the few accidents we've had that have been tragic and sad for the families and friends in our community. But now my children are driving and they're going out this direction, not to mention my friends who live on that have to come back and forth all the time. So I knew about the bridge because of our friendships. And I'm so glad that Marty and our chairman, our public works, and those neighbors that are adjusting their properties to make this happen. So I'm very excited. I'm sorry, like George Chambers said the other day, how many years it's taken, but wow, thank goodness we're doing it.
Okay, let's take another break, and we'll hear from our fine sponsor, Tanner Health System. We'll be back with more with District 4 County Commissioner Michelle Morgan after this.
Take a walk toward healthy. Tanner Health System wants you to know that taking a brisk 30-minute walk 5 times a week is all it takes for most people to keep fit. Not only that, going for 30 can lower your blood pressure, cholesterol, and reduce your risk for heart disease and strokes. You experience these benefits even if you divide your time into 2 or 3 segments of 10 to 15 minutes a day. Even if you've been sedentary for years, you can start now. Going for 35 times a week has real health benefits. Don't think you can make it for 30 minutes? That's okay. You can work your way up as you get stronger.
Let your mouse do the walking online at www.gethealthylivewell.org. Tanner's go-to online destination for health tips, fitness tracking, healthy recipes, and more. Get inspired to get your healthy on at gethealthylivewell.org.
Welcome back to the Community Voice. We have Michelle Morgan in the studio. She's District 4 Carroll County Commissioner. She's in her first term. Are you going to run again?
You know, if it was today, I probably would say yes. I'm enjoying it.
Good.
I'm getting
All
good
right.
feedback, but you know, next March is quite a time away.
A lot can happen in a year, I tell you what. No, that wasn't a trick question. It was just, I don't know, just throwing it out there. First term, 4-year terms, right?
Yes.
Tell us about your thoughts. Recently, I think y'all increased the pay by 3% of the sheriff's deputies. Is that right?
No, it was 8%.
Really?
Yes.
You sure? I mean, you are a commissioner.
Yes.
I didn't know it was 8%.
Yes. Well,
Because the state did up the troopers like 20%, right? Or something like that.
Right. But,
Okay.
you know, Sheriff Langley's been talking about this for quite some time. And, you know, I see how the deputies are very valuable to me as a businesswoman. And then as a county commissioner, I see the other side. And I understand turnover. I understand trying to hire the best. And one of the ways you do that is with pay, is with benefits. And, you know, Terry has been elected so many times, and the people have faith in him. So if he says we need something, I have to agree with him.
Okay.
He's got the experience, the knowledge, and
Well, I didn't know it was 8. I
yes.
thought it was 3, but that's good. So, the first and highest responsibility of government, of course, is protection of the lives and the property of its citizens.
That's right. And we were talking about the parks early. That is sort of the fringe. So we're lucky that we can do that. But you're right. It's fire, public safety, the court system, things that
Absolutely.
aren't always the fun stuff, but most
And they
important.
tend to, they're not the fun stuff, and so sometimes they get lost. I mean, it's fun to talk about all the parts, but in reality, it's the fire, the police, the law enforcement, all of that really have priority. I mean, before we have a park, we ought to have police.
We do, or our parks won't be fun and
They won't be
safe if they're
safe.
not there. So
Yeah.
yes, it's kind of a big circle.
Tell us, because we're going to run out of time, so let me just throw you an open-ended question. How do you see, now that you've been there, how long was it, how long have you been doing this? 2 years?
2.5 years.
2.5
yes.
years. How do you see the state of the county? Are you surprised? Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Do you see big challenges? Or
Well, probably
what's
all of the above.
state of the county?
I think we're in a good place right now. I think, we've done the dreaded word of property appraisals, dreaded words, but, to give us a good basis of really where we are and where we are in funds and where we might need to go. And I think the word, millage rate increase, property tax increase is always being asked of people. And I think in the last 2.5 years, when I've looked at the budgets, making sure we do due diligence to cut whatever we need to cut with also keeping safety and the things people want in there. And I think if at some point we need to get to a tax increase, I feel prepared that I may be able to sell it to people. I'll be able to look and say, we have cut all of this. And if you want to have this, this is what it's going to cost. I have no problem going out and selling to people now if there is something I think we really need. I think I've done my due diligence in working with the budget and asking questions.
How much is the budget now?
Oh, somewhere almost
48?
48, yes.
Million.
Yes, and that is wow, but to run all the things, my newsletter last June, I broke it all down for people to say, wow, look what all your money pays for. And there again, like we said, it's not always the fun things. I mean,
Sure.
animal control you have to have.
Right.
I mean, I guess you wouldn't have it, but then what would you do with your neighbor's stray dogs running around or people whose dogs? So
Yeah, I won't answer
not
that,
always the
'cause
fun stuff,
I
but
don't think Caesar
important
would
to have
appreciate it.
as a community for us to get along.
I always like to ask, and we're running out of time, but, always concerned about Carroll County not becoming Douglas or Paulding County and
You're right.
pushing back or holding off urban sprawl. Is that a concern of yours?
Oh, it is, because one of the things I love about being in Carroll County is just even driving from Carrollton to Villa Rica, all the beautiful green space on either side. I appreciate our farmers. That's like free green space to me. So, we as a commission have put money aside to help with the conservancy of farms. And so, yes, I think with proper planning, we need to stick to that.
All right, very good. There's so many different things that we want to talk about, but we're going pretty much out of time. Obviously, you kind of, with the emails and visibility, you're really kind of out there in the community. If
Thank
somebody
you.
wants to contact you or having further questions, how should they go about it?
Well, my cell phone number is 770-403-2398. You can always call Morgan Oil or any of the BPs will probably have my number. You can find me on Facebook under Michelle Morgan. You can find me on Twitter.
All right.
And I don't tweet in the middle of the night.
And you have an email list, too.
I do. And you just send me an email and let me know you want to be on it, and I'm happy to add you.
All right, very good. I think that pretty well covers it for this morning. I want to thank you for coming in,
Thank you for
mainly
having
for
me.
the recap of the parks. I think that's quite fascinating. Obviously, we got several thousand acres of park space in Carroll County.
We do.
And they're all well developed, and they're all talk about being safe and something we could all enjoy and be proud of. So, and the families can enjoy and be proud of. All right. Well, again, our thanks to Michelle Morgan, District 4 Carroll County Commissioner. This show will be on our podcast and will also be on our YouTube channel. So we thank you for listening and watching, and thank you for coming in. We'll have to have you back soon. And we thank Tanner Health System for our sponsorship of the Community Voice here on WLBB Carrollton.